Welcome to Tech Beyond Gender podcast. I'm your host, Meena Satish Kumar. Joining us today is Hazra Ali, a technology professional with over 12 years of experience across banking and financial services. And our paths crossed when we were in BNZ together. And it was a pleasure working with Hazra. Now she's worked as a business analyst and she's worked in software development to customer service and also facilities management. I'm quite curious about it now. Hazra brings a diverse and people focused perspective into the tech industry. And she's also AWS Community Builder, a former community engagement lead with IIBA Melbourne branch, and someone who's deeply passionate about mentoring and community building. Now, known for turning complex challenges into practical outcomes, Hazra continues to make an impact through collaboration, resilience, and genuine commitment to helping others grow. We are excited to have her join us today to talk about resilience, networking, and building meaningful connections throughout your career. Welcome to our podcast. Thank you for joining us, Hazra.
Thank you, Mina. Thank you for having me.
Now, to begin with, first question I want to ask you is about resilience. What does resilience mean to you?
Well, I think resilience is a great word. It has a broader meaning. But for me, I would say resilience is more about putting yourself out there, putting yourself in things that you're not comfortable in, making sure that you try and you're pushing yourself towards something that you haven't done before and you want to achieve it. So, yes, it's something that you might not be familiar with. It is something that you haven't done before. You might be scared, but you know what? You just keep pushing forward and you try and achieve that. I think that's what resilience means to me. Yeah.
Wow, that is very nice. So, have you always been like this, or is this nature that you cultivated in recent years?
Well, I'll be honest, at times I have been shy and it just comes with age and it comes with more of like experience in life. And sometimes it comes with, you try and achieve something in life and you're trying to push forward. So, in order for you to achieve something and responsibilities as well, if you have commitments towards yourself and what you want in life, your goals, and you just work towards it and then you just start building on it. So, it comes naturally, um, in your career or in your path in life.
So, do you have you always been in tech, Hasra? Like, do you have tech education as well?
Yes, so I've studied banking and IT. So I have a Bachelor of Commerce degree in banking and IT. And then I did my postgrad diploma in IT as well. So I've done it from University of Fiji. I'm originally from Fiji. And I've always been in technology and I've always been in the banking sector. And now after moving to Australia, I think now I'm exploring different sectors, which is, like it gives me a different vibe of the organization of what people are doing and how they actually come together as well to make things work. So it's a different perception from finance. It gave me a bit of challenge as well, like how superannuation works or how, when you work in a place where they create regulatory safety for employees, how that organization functions. So yeah, but most of my career, I would say more than 12 years, I would say I have always been in technology. Yes.
Yeah, I remember our time in BNZ as well. I've always seen you as someone who's very forthcoming with like networking activities, and no matter what, you just push yourself and go out there and do things. Now, also on the contrary, including myself, I've also spoken to many others who sort of shy away from a lot of networking activities, either because of time commitments or it's like after work, why do I have to bother going somewhere for out to network after work? I'm just too tired or lazy. But how is your perspective different when it comes to networking? And why do you think it's very important?
Well, that's a good question. Networking is something I love. I didn't like it previously, but it has come to me naturally now. Like going to events, I enjoy myself. Like literally, I like enjoy myself meeting new people, having good conversations, understanding who's who and who fits where. So, and it's at the, I think when you attend events, you should have a motive. Like, what is the purpose of me going to that event, right? And what will I learn from there? What are the people, I'll meet or not meet, but have less expectations. So when I go to events, I'm like, oh, yes, if it is something related to I'm doing like business analysis, right?
Mm.
I'm a business analyst myself. So when I attend those events, I get to understand, okay, what part of business analysis is going to be discussed and who are the people I can meet, new leaders in the community, and someone I can ask if I would want someone to become a mentor, you know, and those type of things actually really help to build a bigger, wider network as well. So it's something I love doing and it comes natural to me. And I think it is important for people to put themselves out there. I know after job we all are busy, we're so tired, we have our family as well. But you don't have to attend events every day. You can go to the ones that you like. And if you attend that event and if you like it, you can go for the next one. Otherwise, if you don't like it, it doesn't match your vibe. There's no obligation on you to attend the next one, like you can skip that whole meeting or the meetup on its own and move to the next one. So that's what I have been doing, and then I managed to find the vibe to the ones that I really like, and then I must attend those events. It's like, yes, and I've started to network and know people. They're friendly, they're kind, and I just like it. So those ones I attend. So it's more like your preference. What do you like? What do you prefer? And what are you passionate about? Yeah.
Nice. So, how has this networking impacted your career?
Well, I think it has really impacted me a lot, especially moving countries because I was in New Zealand and then I came to Australia. I didn't know many people. I didn't know who was who. I just started off with the first event that I went to, which was for AWS. And then I really like the vibe. I like the people who were actually hosting the event. And I just put myself out there and I put my hand up and said that, you know what, I want to become a volunteer because they're looking for volunteers all the time. So I said, you know what, I want to become a volunteer. And that has worked out really well for me. I've started to know more people. And then from that, I've managed to understand what is happening, in the whole AWS space as well within New Zealand and Australia. And the next thing I know, I'm a AWS community builder myself. So it's been like something that I started off with just a general meetup that I went to, became a volunteer, learned so much, and now I'm a community builder myself. So that helps a lot. And also with my business analysis side of things, I was new as well, and people are welcoming. It's all about you putting yourself out there, putting your hand up, becoming a volunteer, helping them grow as well, and you grow together with those different groups, and it's all about being passionate as well. Yeah.
So, what does it mean to be a AWS community builder? Like, what would you need to have done certain things to become a community builder?
Well, to be honest, as a community builder, I'm proud to say it that I'm a community builder. It's not easy, but it's not hard as well. It's all about there. If you go on the AWS website, you'll see for the community builder program, you'll see the list of things that needs to be done. And it's more like a checklist, like you have to do certain presentation, um, writing blogs, like how have you communicate, how you have contributed to the AWS community on its own. And they actually look at that, like have you done presentations as well, and then how you build the community. for the AWS. So it's more in that terms. And yes, being a business analyst along all the technical team, all the technical people, it was quite surprising for me. I'm very happy and I'm very grateful to all the people who have supported me on this journey as well. It wasn't easy, and I'm surprised that I got through as well. I guess it's all about being resilient. There you go. Like I was putting myself out there, the best self as well, so that I can achieve what I did. And I think I was being told that not to have high expectation because there's certain people who have applied for 3, 4 times and haven't been through. And for me, I think I was fortunate enough to get through in the first attempt. So it's a proud feeling, and yeah, I think it's all about contributing to the AWS community.
So, amongst the latest tech suite of AWS, what excites you the most?
So I'm a community builder for security. I've always been passionate about, how I can analyze and use tools for AWS. And the latest tool that I managed to use was the IAM Access Analyzer. It's a great tool to, monitor all the access levels of people, permissions, and I don't need to be an expert either to be a community builder. I need to just make sure I have enough knowledge to help the community in terms of how I present, how I share my knowledge. I bring people together. Um, I attend events as well. Like my latest one was the summit. I went to Israel, Sydney. Sorry, I am in Israel. I went to Sydney, and I spoke with so many other leaders from other user groups around Australia, like Gold Coast, Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth. They were all there and they were all so friendly to mingle with. So I think I don't limit myself to one technology. I would say I think everything is like growing so fast in the AWS space, in the cloud platform as well. So it's all about just learning and growing wherever I can, wherever I get an opportunity. I'm very passionate about developing and learning and growing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what is the most recent technology that you are very passionate about?
At the moment, I am working on Salesforce. It's a project on Salesforce, and I'm learning about that. I like the workflows because I've done other, um, I would say, other softwares that I've done, which has, process automation and workflows going from one stage to the other stage, steps and other things that comes along. And this project gave me a bit more sense of as to what's happening. And I've never done Salesforce before, so this was a learning curve for me. It's a learning opportunity for me as well, how it functions, how it works. And I'm trying to enhance myself in that so that I can, like grow and develop myself.
So, when it comes to new technology that you
Yeah.
just mentioned with Salesforce, you didn't know, and then you've just started learning it. Now, what would be the best approach to learn something new, a new technology, when you're actually just thrown into a project where you have no choice but to learn the technology? How do you go about doing it?
I think it's all about being passionate about it, being quick learner, putting in additional effort because you're starting from scratch compared to people who already been on the project. They know so much about it. You're brand new. You're like, okay, where do I start? What do I do? It's all about networking as well. Like you connect with the right people so that they can guide you through as well. So if you're stuck in one place, you don't know what that functionality does, and you need to write a user story about it, right? So it's always nice that you have created that bonding. You have networked with people, and people know you, so it's easy. You can just approach them and say, you know what, I'm working on this feature. Can you guide me through what does it do? How does it look like in the background? And also, I come from a technical background as well, so I understand how it might function in a way, but it's always nice to get like professional advice, like solutions architect, someone like yourself, who would know advanced things about the software. So it would be nice to just get that information or do a bit of hands on the lower environment like UAT or the test environment Usually business analysts will get that access as well. So we can play around and see how it's created, how it functions. So I think I'd get that approach. Yeah.
Mm, very nice. Like the underlying theme that I've been hearing is all about networking, right, from our conversation. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like networking can mean different things to different people, right? Now, what does it mean to be effective in networking? How do you do it?
Well, I think it's all about number one, just approach the person. Because what I've seen in Australia is that people keep to themselves until you approach them. So when I go to an event or I go to my office, I usually initiate the conversation. Say, hi, how are you? Or if I hear something, oh, like this is what I've heard, and people are friendly, they respond back in a nice way. I think it's just about being the initiator of the conversation. And yes, there might be people who might not respond back, in a way that you'd want, because everyone is busy, everyone has their own things going on in life, and I think it's also that you need to be mindful that you can't have conversations at different time as well. So it's all about the timing, and it's all about starting small and then making it bigger conversations later on.
Has networking ever felt uncomfortable for you or challenging?
Well, to be honest, yes. Because in previously, when I when I actually started at BNZ, I would say in New Zealand, I was not doing much networking. Obviously, I didn't know what that was, right? And then slowly, I built that. But when I came to Australia, it's a whole new level of networking. It's like because there's so much going on, and you actually need to know the right people for the right thing, and also we need to understand like who can actually help if you're doing something in a project. Let's say, for example, I'm a business analyst and I'm doing something on security in AWS. There are AWS heroes I can approach in security. And because I went to events like the summit, I actually met the person who's a hero. So
Mm.
that gave, not only by name that I'm messaging him, but in person, so he could meet me. So we could put a face to the name, he can see he saw me, he understood me. And I got a message from him saying that, what, Hasra, you can reach out to me anytime you like. Anything regarding security. So I was surprised that day ago. So if a tool I'm learning in AWS on my own and I really want to, like get help, I know he's there for me. And because I have created that bonding with him, I made an effort. I went to him, I approached him, I told him in future I will definitely reach out. He knew me. So that's a good thing. That's a progress. And I think it starts small in baby steps. It's not easy to initiate a conversation. It feels uncomfortable as well. But as you practice, as you go along, I think it starts building up, and then you become comfortable in approaching people and having just a conversation without much expectation, I would say.
Wow. Yeah, there is no easy way right out.
Yeah.
Everything hard work and just baby steps and being consistent.
Yeah.
Now, what are some practical ways like BAs, especially women and migrants, can start building meaningful networking connections?
Yep. That's a good question, especially for ladies and migrants. We are new. I remember a friend I met last year, and we attended so many events together that we started becoming friends because we saw each other in the next event and the next event and the next event. So we were like, hi, and I went and introduced myself, and then we bonded really well. And today we are friends, I would say. So I think for migrants and women, I think you understand what you're passionate about, what do you want to do, and she was a developer in AWS, and we started off going with this AWS meetup groups, and I put my hand up to become a volunteer, and then I dragged her in. as well. I said, I'm a volunteer. Why don't you join us? You know, and then she became a volunteer as well. And then at that point in time, we were both looking for opportunities. So I managed to grab something in my business analysis space, which I'm very fortunate about. And, I was trying to help her as well. So when we network, when you build that relationship and bonding, it's not about only taking stuff from the community, it's also giving back. So I was trying to find something for her as well. And in that event, we managed to find someone who knew someone who was actually looking for a dev. So yeah, so we got her to, approach the person, and I was there just to help her out because she wasn't comfortable enough to actually have that conversation one on one. And with me, I'm a bit vocal and I'm very confident when I talk as well. And it's a way of, like not making the person feel that we are only after the job, but also we are there to create that bonding with the person. It's not only about getting what we want, it's about creating that bonding for a long term, like, so that is something that I helped her with. And she managed to get an interview, and she did her best in that interview as well. So I won't take the credit. I was just there to initiate it, and she got the job. And
Mm,
today she's very happy, it's helping her with her PR as well. So I think it's just if you see someone who is in need and the other person who can help, it's always try and make people come together. You build that, the bonding and the relationship. And I'm always that person. If someone approaches me and says, I'm here and I'm looking for this, and if I know someone in that same event or another event who is also looking for something similar, I would always bring them together and say, you know what, I'll just connect you guys together on LinkedIn. Or, hey, you know what, I'm coming in this event. The person is also coming. Why don't you join us and I'll introduce you. So I've started doing that as well. And I help as many people as I can along the way. It's all about building the community.
mm.
Yeah.
Very nice. So, what you mentioned about introducing this person, you just felt like you didn't want him to feel that you're there just for the job, but you wanted to make sure that there was a bigger, wider purpose for that conversation.
Yeah.
Now, how do you actually maintain and nurture relationships in the long run? Especially someone like you attending so many networking events and stuff. How do you maintain that relationship moving forward?
Well, that's a good question. And I think that plays the bigger part and the best part of networking is that, like, for me with that AWS hero in security, I met him, I messaged him, I saw his one of his meetups on, it was an online hybrid event. So I saw that, I messaged him. We connected on LinkedIn. And then I met him in person. I introduced myself. So I went and I said, and now we're connected more on LinkedIn as well as Slack. So I can message him and say, hey, if anytime you're in Australia, in Melbourne, let me know. We can grab a coffee, you know. So it's all about nurturing. Or if I travel in, I don't know, the area where he is, I would definitely go and say, hey, you know what, I'm coming over. Are you happy to have a coffee catch up? So something in that terms. It's all about making the effort that, you know what, I want to connect with you. I'm happy to connect with you further. And also when I start building something on security side, for AWS, I'll definitely be reaching out. So that would also create our bonding even more, because then it's like we have that one on one happening and they'll be able to help me out more. So maintaining that network, that relationship, that bonding with people is very important. And if if you can't create that bonding, you lose out, because otherwise the person might think you're only there just to get something from them, and afterwards you'll just like disappear and you won't show up, which is not what networking should be about. It should be having less expectations and building the community, having that conversation, and also you giving back, not only taking from the person, because you never know that person, even though they're AWS hero, I'm not sure. Maybe one day I can help him in some way, and I'll be very proud to do that. So yeah, I would say it's all about giving back to the community.
Wow. Cool. Now, in your experience, how does resilience show up in day to day work beyond obvious challenges?
Yeah, well, with resilience, I think it's not easy for people to be in a uncomfortable state. Resilient is all about, like I mentioned earlier, it's, you know, someone told me that if you're in a role or in a position where you are not comfortable, that's learning. That means that is true growth. That means you're growing, you're developing, you're trying to figure out what to do next and help you rather than being in a comfort zone where you're like, oh, I know what to do and it's so easy for me. So resilient is something not easy. Not everyone can do it. Even for myself, I would say I am resilient for certain times, and then there are other times that I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a step back, rethink what I'm doing, and then start. Maybe I need a new goal rather than the old one that I already have. So I would say, yeah, it's all about taking some time off as well, rather than being, you know what, I'm just gonna keep going, going, going. It's okay. Take a break, and then look at your goals again. Look at what you wanna achieve, and then push forward. Yeah.
So, how do you set goals, Hasra? Like, do you actually have like dedicated time where you sit and like develop your goals and then revisit it and evaluate it and then see, okay, this is relevant for me even now? How do you do it?
Well, to be honest, I'm someone who used to plan a lot. I used to do a lot of planning. Now I'm more of a person who would like to go on the flow. Like, if I have to do something, because with time, I think you just become a bit more confident in yourself. You do need planning, obviously, but you don't need to overdo yourself in terms of like, oh my God, and panic, because some people start having anxiety if you plan too much. With me, goals I would set is generic ones, and then I go with the flow as to how I can achieve it. Because there's certain things you won't achieve in life, and if you don't achieve it, you get disheartened, right? That does not mean that you are a failure. It means, okay, it didn't work out for me. I will, you know what? I'll take some break. Because we are humans, we have emotions, we get disappointed, and then we start to rethink, okay, this didn't work out, that's okay, that what is next that I can achieve. So I don't plan too ahead in future. I do mindfulness. I am a spiritual person. I pray every day. That keeps me connected to God. And I just like to keep myself going and have realistic goals as well. Like I wouldn't want to put something that I know I will not be able to like achieve. You need to be realistic and true to yourself when you put goals for yourself. Yeah.
Mm. Tell us more about imposter syndrome. Is this something that you experience often, or have you got tools to handle that?
Well, imposter syndrome is one of the good topics, I would say. I'm planning to write a blog on that later. Especially as business analyst, when I attend this technology or events like AWS, we have technical people there. People know their stuff, and I'm there with just brief, things about a feature, or service, and they know in detail what they're doing. So when I do present in such events, I do feel that I might get some, technical questions come back to me. And I'm always honest. I say, you know what? I'm a business analyst. I don't need to be an expert. That's where you guys come in, like the expert, like solutions architect, like yourself, Nina. So that's where you guys come into the picture. For me, I'm just a communicator. I'm there to just say, you know what? I'll help you grow together. I'll talk to the business. I'll get whatever you need. And I'll give it back to you guys. And I'll go vice versa. And I'll be the middle person. So, yes. So when I present in events like that, I feel like, do I actually belong here? Even though I know I can, like present it, but those events are technical events. But I think people encourage me in the right way. Even the hosts are very friendly. The crowd are very supportive. Even the solutions architect come up and say to me, or devs come up, that was a really great presentation. And I feel so proud, like coming, even though I was technical, but still, I'm pretty sure they have more advanced knowledge on the topic than myself. And hearing that from them, it makes me feel proud that, you know what, sometimes we don't need to overthink stuff. We are who we are, and I think we just need to be happy and just put yourself out there and not let imposter syndrome put you down, because you are an achiever, you have done so much. You just need to be a bit more confident in yourself and just, say, you know what, be resilient as well, and just go for it. Yeah.
To be honest, it doesn't matter whether you're a solution architect or you're a developer. The technology is so fast evolving and changing, and all we know is just a tiny weeny bit, right? Like everything keeps changing, everything is evolving, and everyone is in the learning process, I would say. I don't think anyone really knows about everything. So I don't think you're just left behind anywhere, Hasra. You're
Okay,
actually doing amazing.
that's great.
Now, looking back, is there anything you would have done differently when it comes to building resilience or even with networking?
Well, to be honest, yes. I would actually like to tell my younger version of myself that, there are few things that when I was thinking like imposter syndrome, or in terms of like, I don't have what it takes, when I apply for positions, or, in terms of like putting myself down for certain things, which I don't need to. Like, it's all about having confidence, even though if I don't know things, presenting in an environment like you mentioned, technology changes so quickly. So I think, you know, me having that mindset, oh, the solutions architect or the dev would know a lot. That's not true in some sense. Um, so it's all about the mindset. I think it's all about me having a open and brighter mindset, so that I can, you know, put myself out there more than compared to I used to. But I'm happy where I am at the moment. I think it's a journey, and everyone has a different journey, and you learn along the way. So for me, I think I've learned so much, and I'm happy where I am. But to the younger version, I would say you've done what you knew what to do, and you've done well. Yeah.
I agree. For someone early in their BA career, what's one mindset shift or habit you would recommend to help them grow both resilience and to build strong relationships?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, and I get asked a lot, to be honest. I'm a mentor, and I attended one of the business analyst events recently, and we had speed mentoring happening in that event. And there were a lot of people who are graduates in business analysis, or they are about to graduate. And they came for their event, and most of them asked the same question, like, how can I improve myself, my business analyst skills, how can I secure a role for myself later on once I'm graduate? What is the key? And it was great to see a lot of passionate BA people around as well. And the questions were very similar because we had like a lot of people approach us in different time during this speed mentoring session. So my answer to them was, you have been attending events as such. And then I was like, this is a good way to network, number one. And to all the attendees that came to my table, um, to get guidance from me as a mentor, because we had 8 mentors and I was one of them. So they used to go to different tables. And for me, I asked all of them one question. I said that you have come to this great event. It's a business analyst event. It's an Australia Melbourne event, and this is a good organization. And I asked them one thing: do you know who the lead of this um event is? You know, from the business analyst side, and none of them knew. So I gave them the name. I said that this is the person. And I looked around. I said, can you point? Can you see the person in the room? And all of them looked around and said that, no, we don't know who the person is. And that there, I was straightforward. I told them, when you come to such events, it's a good opportunity for you to connect with the right people, you know. Yes, you can talk to as many people as you like, but always be mindful to talk to the right person to get the right connection. So whoever is hosting, whoever is the HR, you know, in the environment, if you're looking for a role or job, you should connect with them. Or if you're just looking for a mentor, you connect with the person that you like. And if you want to volunteer or, you know, help the community, then you should know who the head is, right?
Hmm.
And being resilient and start the networking starts when you start meeting people, right people, and connecting with them, creating that, you know, bonding and the relationship. It all helps. So I was surprised that none of them, like whoever came to my to my table, actually went and said hi to the lead and, you know, connect with them on LinkedIn. No one did that. And the surprising thing I could see as a mentor is that once the mentoring session finished, all of them rushed to her, to the lead, and then started connecting with her on LinkedIn. And I was just sitting at my table and I was looking like, wow, as a mentor, as a senior business analyst, as a lead, I have the power to at least, you know, guide people in the right direction. So it gave me that proud feeling that, you know what, have that in me that I can guide people in the right way so they can learn and grow. And we all can learn and grow together as a community. Yeah.
Wow. So good, Hazra. Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, when you look back at your career and when you look back at your younger self, what would be your advice?
Well, my advice to myself would be that, you know what, you've done well. I know there's up and downs. We have struggled. We have gone through so much of stress, anxiety, um, because certain things don't happen the way we want. And that's why I don't plan too much. I don't put very high expectations for me. I go with the flow. And I would tell myself, you know what, it's okay. Whatever happened, the journey is beautiful. Look at us now. You know, this is what it is now. And I'm very happy. I'm very proud where I am. A lot happened throughout that journey, and you can only do as much as you can do. And but one thing I would advise myself is that try and get a mentor, someone who can help you grow faster, because usually we are just trying ourselves to do this, to do that. But when we have someone who genuinely cares and can guide us through, I think that would really help. But otherwise, I would say, well done, I'm proud of you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Azra. It was lovely to have a chat with you and amazing, inspirational journey. And I'm sure there'll be many more listening to you. I hope they would reach out to you, get more tips about networking and being resilient. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Meena.